climbing back upon Mount Soapbox for my 200th rant. And 2 years ago, I did my 100th rant. So it's kind of a tradition of sorts. Plus, I needed content while I was out of town. Now, this is going to be posted on Sunday, which is when I originally used to post my rants on a regular basis. Now it's whenever I happen to have something to rant about or whenever I have it working into my schedule. But I am currently, hopefully, heading home from my little trip that I took over this past week. Hopefully, I made it there in one piece. Hopefully, I wasn't sick and not able to go. But either way, I am probably, by the time that this goes up, preparing or already on my way home. Anyways, hope you enjoy my 200th rant. Now, I will probably say that a few times because it's hard to say 100th, then rant, then 200th, then rant without adding the TH to rant. It happens. So in the 100th rant, it went on for like 50 minutes. Hopefully this doesn't go on that long. It might or may not will. I don't know. It could. Let's hope not. But I briefly went over each of my previous rants leading up to the 100th rant. And my thoughts real quick, quick fire thoughts. Some went on a little bit longer than others. But anyways, moving on over from the original rant playlist, which you can go back and watch if you feel so inclined, to Rant 2.0. By the way, this is obviously going to be the last rant included with Rant 2.0 playlist. All the rants going forward, well, the next 100 will be in Rant 3.0 playlist, FYI. So let's start things off at the bottom. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep this as short and sweet as possible because I'm knocking out a whole bunch of videos. By the way, if you look up in the the counter, the counter, I'm probably over 9,000 subscribers by now. So obviously I recorded this when I was just under the 900,000. 900,000. Did I say 900,000? I wish. 9,000 subscribers. Just under the 9 subscriber GeauxBurns Nation counter. And we will be doing a 9,000 subscriber Q&A. Every time I get 1,000 new subscribers, we do a new Q&A. So that's probably going to come up sometime this week, hopefully. That's the plan anyways. Real quickly, let's talk about my YouTube rants. They are probably the least popular of my rant videos, but I like doing YouTube rants because obviously I'm a YouTuber, a content creator and streamer on YouTube, and whenever issues come up on YouTube, I like to also rant about it. Originally, my rant videos were specifically revolved around Grand Theft Auto Online, then Watch Dogs, and a few other games here and there, but on occasion, I do like to throw out something other than a typical video game rant, and usually it revolves around something YouTube did. Enough rambling, time to get on with the 200th rant video. And we're going to real quickly go over each of these videos, at least if I remember anything specifically about it. I'll throw it out there. But at the same time, I'm going to try and keep this shorter than my 100th rant, because I know a lot of you don't really care for longer videos. Case in point, my year 5 video. Alright, so the first video that was on Rant 2.0 was my YouTube TV rant, and hopefully people that have YouTube TV are enjoying it. Hopefully it's worth whatever you're paying per month or per year for, and hopefully there's enough channels on there to justify it. I just had some thoughts about it, and that's why I did a YouTube rant regarding YouTube TV. Female protagonist rant is revolved around the fact that back when I was on the ACG International podcast, we had an occasional guest, not any of the regulars, but an occasional guest who was also a content creator. Nice guy, but at the same time, he refused to play any video game that happened to have a female protagonist. Now, I don't personally throw shade at him. I don't call him out specifically. That's something I try to avoid at all costs. But I don't understand how any gamer out there could deny themselves an awesome gaming experience just because the protagonist happens to be female. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense, and that's why I did the female protagonist rant, because there's a lot of great games that happen to have great female characters. If you deny yourself that adventure as a female character in a video game, even if you're a dude like me, I hate to say it, you're probably sexist. That's just how I feel about it. Because we play so many different types of characters in video games anyways, and it's all fictional. It's a video game, for crying out loud. So what? Is it really going to make you feel less of a man and start questioning yourself if you play a female character? No, it won't. But anyways, YouTube NCN Rant. I would advise any of you, and all of you that are content creators and streamers, to stay the hell away from MCNs. Don't bother. Whether it's a contractual or non-contractual partnership. I used to be an MCN. To be honest, I really don't feel like I got anything out of it. So I would just stay independent, especially for you new content creators and streamers, or any of you YouTubers that happen to be under the requirements to get a YouTube partnership. I wouldn't even bother. Just keep doing what you're doing. And eventually, if you meet all the requirements to become a YouTube partner and you're able to make some money off of your videos, then at least whatever money you get goes to you, and you don't have to split it with an MCN, because in the end, they don't really help you out. They're more about themselves than you. So yeah, stay away from MCNs. That's just what I have to think about it. Restricted mode rant was a new mode that was added years ago. I still don't like it, but unfortunately, there's nothing that we can really do about it. It is what it is, but you know, I still am going to rant about it if I don't like it, even if it never changes. Arrow rant. Okay, I wasn't ranting about the TV series Arrow, obviously, even though the final season of Arrow is coming, season 8, 10 episodes. And, you know, the series has been hit or miss, but back on topic. What I'm referring to specifically in this rant is other content creators, once again, not trying to throw shade at anyone specifically. That's something I don't do. For one thing, I don't think they deserve any attention, the clickbaiters out there, good or bad. But I just am annoyed, and I still am, when I see any thumbnail out there from a video that happens to have an arrow in it. Whether it's a green arrow, a red arrow, an orange arrow, yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter what the color of the arrow is. I think it's stupid. And I really don't get why YouTubers still do it. It's dumb. YouTube demonetization rant. YouTube content creator rant. Also, obviously, revolved around YouTube. So, if you're into my YouTube rants and you haven't seen these yet, feel free and go check them out on the Rant 2.0 playlist. NES Classic Discontinued rant. Now, this was an older rant. And sometimes when I rant about something, things change and might, for a time, render my rant null and void. Now, this was during the time when the NES Classic first came out. It was very limited, and eventually Nintendo discontinued it, but they did bring it back, I guess regarding popular demand and a lot of Nintendo fans wanting their own NES Classic that didn't exactly get one. So, yeah, that's pretty much what the NES Classic Discontinued rant was all about. The fact that the first run was, there were so few of them, and the demand was so high, but yet Nintendo canceled it. But then I guess they saw the error of the way. So, hooray, Nintendo. See, the tax bonus rant was revolved the tax bonus in Grand Theft Auto Online. I think a lot of that was directed at people complaining about the tax bonus. And if I remember correctly, my point was, well, you know, it's something, you know, it's better than nothing. They didn't have to give us a tax bonus. I don't remember specifically what it was about, and this may be an ongoing occurring issue that happens in this video. Tiny Racers rant. Now, I remember this one. Oh, yes, I do. Because when they announced Tiny Racers a few years ago, I was kind of sort of excited about it because it was top down. It was giving me an old school Grand Theft Auto vibe and feel. But unfortunately, the Tiny Racers turned out to be an adversary mode instead of a new racing mode, which I think was a very bad idea. Moving on to Red Dead Redemption 2 Rumor Mill Rant. Now, this was during a time when I don't think we knew that much of, we knew a little bit about Red Dead Redemption 2, but not as much, obviously, as we do now because the game's already out. There was another game that was being worked on. What was it called? Wild West Online or something? And some screenshots leaked. And a few other content creators and news sites were so quick to believe that these were screenshots from Red Dead Redemption 2, that they ran of it without fact-checking, and it turned out to be bullshit. Let's see. Aircraft Carrier Rant in Grand Theft Auto Online is pretty much simple. It's something I've been complaining about for a while now. Why does Rockstar simply not add the aircraft carrier from one of the heist missions to free roam in Grand Theft Auto Online? It would be a new military location we could go to. We could have some fun with military NPCs or naval NPCs. And it would be similar to Fort Zancudo. If you don't have low-level access, you automatically get a 4-star warning or a 3-star warning. And instead of lasers, maybe there's hydras on top of the aircraft carrier that you can steal and fly around in. It was just a fun little idea that I had. Let's see, Red Dead Redemption 2 delayed rant. Obviously, it did get delayed a few times, and I did rant about it once or twice, but it did eventually come out. YouTube sponsorship rant. This was about, on occasion, whenever you get, not huge, but when you get big enough and you're a YouTube partner, you will start getting emails from anonymous sources, especially if you happen to have an email address linked on your YouTube channel. And they will offer you these sponsorship deals that seem too good to be true. They seem very shady, very questionable. And my entire point was just avoid them on all costs, have some integrity, and don't take up some of these sponsorship deals because a lot of them are very scammy and they will make you look bad to your viewers, subscribers, fans, and audience. So there's definitely some sponsorships down the road that might be worth entertaining and taking up, but there's also a lot of questionable ones out there as well. Take-Two versus Open 4 rant. And this had a lot to do with, I guess, modding on Grand Theft Auto 5 PC. And Open 4, Open IV, whatever you want to call it, was quite popular for a short period. Take-Two threatened legal action. But I think because of the community's outcry and feedback and backlash, yeah, I think Take-Two pulled a 180 on that one. So that was a smart move because they did say that on Grand Theft Auto 5, not Grand Theft Auto Online on PC, but on Grand Theft Auto 5 PC, they were going to let us mod. And I'm glad that they decided to reverse course on that one. Grand Theft Auto Online monetization rant, that basically revolved around, it feels like that the monetization in Grand Theft Auto Online has continued to get worse and worse. So basically that's what that video is about. The research rant. You want to see me go full-fledged rant mode, like rage rant mode? That's the rant video to go watch. Most of my rant videos are just me just laid back and chill and sometimes even being somewhat funny or trying to be funny. But I seriously hate the research in Grand Theft Auto Online, and well, the rant explains why. I guess it's a way of plugging all these videos if you haven't had a chance to go check out previous rants in Rant 2.0. A militarization rant, I guess that was kind of pointless because, for one thing, I think I took a different angle in there. I tried to explain that Grand Theft Auto Online had always been militarized. This was, I believe, during 2017 when we had, a whole bunch of militarized updates. And I don't know why I went in that particular way, but at the same time, I think I did get some flack for it. So not everyone always agrees with my rants, and sometimes I make a rant, and then I look back at it in hindsight, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, just maybe, I shouldn't have made that rant video. But the militarization rant is something, sadly, I think a lot of us were kind of wanting the game to go. We kind of wanted more military vehicles in the game, but be careful what you wish for, as the old saying goes. I guess that's the moral here when it comes to that particular rant, because the game has become very, very militarized. Mafia remake rant. I don't know why I made that a rant. Sometimes, once again, back in the day, I was doing these on a weekly basis, and that's a big reason why I don't do them weekly anymore, because a lot of times I felt like I was personally forcing myself to come up with a new rant every week. A lot of times it worked out okay, but sometimes it felt like I may have been drawing at straws or just trying to come up with an excuse to make a specific video a rant. The Mafia remake could have been its own unique video instead of a rant, because I personally am a Mafia fan. I've loved the Mafia franchise from the very beginning. I think it would be awesome if eventually we did get a Mafia remake or remaster or reboot going back to that original game, or a remastered version of the original Mafia, even if they can't do it without completely rebuilding it, getting some new voice actors, maybe adding some more stuff to that version of Mafia. But it's still a very awesome game, which, by the way, I did go on to do a Let's Play of at least a year or two ago. If you guys are interested, there's a Mafia playlist and a Mafia 2 playlist, and yes, a Mafia 3 playlist. Let's see, Technical Custom Rant, because the Technical Custom sucks. Drip Fed Rant. Unfortunately, the reality is drip feeding in Grand Theft Auto Online, and as we have noticed in Red Dead Online, is not going away. I mean, if you compare the two, I'd very much prefer being drip-fed a new vehicle than pieces of clothing. I mean, at least it's a new vehicle, right? Not a hat or a jacket or a pair of boots or a pair of socks. So, yeah. YouTube dislike rant. I think the point of this one was a lot of people complain about dislikes, and as a content creator, big or small, eventually you're going to get dislikes. And you know why? Because people have different opinions. They have different views. And if you go in all these rant videos, you'll see dislikes because some people disagree with me. And people have a right to disagree with you. Or they just didn't feel like you got to the point in time, or you kept repeating yourself. There's various reasons why people dislike your videos. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to have some sort of level of self-criticism, if you don't have a thick enough skin, you shouldn't be a content creator or streamer anyways. Because, yeah, you're going to get dislikes. The truth is, it doesn't really matter because in the algorithm, likes equal dislikes, and the more of either or you get or both, the better off your video is going to be when it comes to more potential views. So, in a weird, twisted way, dislikes do help because, A, if you made a video that a lot of people didn't like, then they'll let you know with the dislikes. And you're like, oh, well, I guess they didn't like that video. Note to self, don't make any more videos like that. And sometimes, unfortunately, there is dislike bots. That's happened to me over the past few months. But, you know, it's just something you have to deal with, you know, being a content creator on YouTube. YouTube monetization review rant. I forgot what that was about exactly. I think that is just another one of the things that happened in the adpocalypse, that where you would get like a yellow check mark on some of your videos and you would just have to ask YouTube to manually review it. It wasn't very good when it first launched. It still happens to me, but I have noticed that the turnaround rate is pretty fast whenever I get a yellow check mark and I ask for them to review it. It doesn't seem to take them too long to, you know, change the yellow check mark to a green check mark. So it's a lot better than it was. The Artit rant. I think one of the main premises behind the Artit rant was the fact that it was based off one of the Bond cars featured in one of the Roger Moore movies where it would go underwater. Obviously, we got the Stromberg later on with the Doomsday heist, but a lot of us honestly thought that the Artit was going to be that specific type of car. And I may have mentioned, if I didn't mention it, but I should have, the fact that the Artit cannot be used in sports classic races. It still can't be used in sports classic races. The Luxo can't either, which is unfortunate. So there's probably a few reasons why I was ranting about the Artit in that particular video. The Downforce rant. I've never really been a fan of Downforce, and I think a lot of car fans in Grand Theft Auto Online weren't exactly either, because sometimes the Downforce works, and sometimes the downforce actually hinders a car and makes it a lot slower than it should be in Grand Theft Auto Online. The Smuggler's Run rant. Obviously, I must have had serious issues with Grand Theft Auto Online's update Smuggler's Run, which is why I did a rant video dedicated to Smuggler's Run. Usually I do review videos for all the DLCs in Grand Theft Auto Online, as well as, I guess in the future for Red Dead Online whenever there's actual updates to it. And I also do reviews for the video games I play. Case in point, a few days ago I posted a video for Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. I did a review video on that. I do like occasionally doing review videos, but sometimes, just sometimes, a review video isn't enough. And I feel like doing a rant video, and I guess that's what happened with Smuggler's Run. The property and utility rant was about the fact that we get nickeled and dimed every day, and the more properties you own, the more money Rockstar's taking away from you every single day in the game that you're playing. And it's interesting that some of these rants There's always somebody in chat that disagrees with me and that makes smart-ass comments like, oh, you're just whining about only a few $1,000s every day. As long as somebody's not being like offensive to an extreme point, most of the time I just leave the comments alone. I mean, I do have, a certain level of free speech allowed, but once it gets really offensive, then I delete the comments, or usually I block those jerk-offs. But, there are a few comments I noticed in some of these rants where people obviously disagree with me, and they let me know that they disagree. And I do read everybody's comments, whether I agree with you or not. And I do try my best to temper the old delete button. Most of the time, anyways. The Bombushka rant, because the Bombushka could have been way better. The Grand Theft Auto Online 4th Anniversary rant, because, well, what was it? 2017 was the 4th anniversary of Grand Theft Auto Online, October 2017. So I'm guessing that's when I did a rant video on that. Unsellable rant was revolved around the fact that there's a lot of vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online that's currently unsellable, and I would like to be able to sell a yacht or like garage space I no longer use or apartments I no longer care for. It would just be nice if we had the ability to sell some of the things that we have purchased in the game, like for example the AA trailer, but unfortunately I doubt that's ever going to happen. Now, as you may notice in some of these rants, I do attempt to rant about other video games, like, for example, my issues that I had with Friday the 13th, the game. I definitely go over the problems I had when playing that, and, issues that a lot of other fans had as well. It's enjoyable with friends to play Friday the 13th. I haven't played in a long time, but it definitely did have its share of issues. Mafia licensed music rant. Now, this is a problem that I encountered whenever I Let's Played Mafia, the City of Lost Heaven. Once again, the Mafia playlist is available for your viewing pleasure if you want to go watch my Let's Play of it. So, there is music from the 1930s in Mafia, the City of Lost Heaven, because the game is set in the 1930s. And the issue I had with the licensed music, the fact that I got copyright claim for some of those videos, is the simple fact that the musicians, the artists, the performers of those songs from the 1930s are dead. Gone. Who knows where they went? If there's an afterlife, hopefully they're better off, or maybe they reincarnated, maybe they're making music again. But the point is, those that hold the license to the music of long dead musicians and performers are basically making money off the dead at their expense. And in no shape or form did they contribute in any way to, that particular song or songs from the 1930s. And I think at the end my point was, even though there is a window after a certain time period where things do become public domain, like literature and music, etc., I feel the same should be for a lot of these older songs, unless, it's directly benefiting like a child or the grandchildren of the performer, the musician in question. So if there are royalties to these songs, it should be kept in the family, not to some third party out there that's obviously benefiting off of something they didn't even create or weren't even around when it came out. See, the Halloween 2017 rant in Grand Theft Auto Online is because I'm a huge Halloween fan. I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite times of year. And even though we've had a little bit of Halloween treats here and there in Grand Theft Auto Online, I just really would like to see another fully fledged Halloween update with, I know we get like a car every now and then, but it would be awesome if we got some more Halloween masks. There's a ton of masks though in Grand Theft Auto Online, but I think one of the issues I was having was it would be nice if we had some like, costumes, different types of costumes, like silly costumes, sexy costumes, scary costumes, freaky costumes. But I don't know. Eventually maybe they'll give us a Halloween update somewhere down the road if they continue updating Grand Theft Auto Online. See, YouTube non-monetized channels rant. And I think the basis of that rant was YouTube intentionally gives priority to the monetized channels like myself and others, big or small. Meanwhile, it's a lot more difficult for non-monetized channels to get views, to get new subscribers, I think that was pretty much the premise around that. And it sucks because originally YouTube started off where nobody was monetized, and eventually as it become popular and profitable and the content creators were able to make some money, you know, they became the ones that were highlighted. And I'm in that category as well. So this was mostly about helping everyone else that's just starting off in YouTube, that's struggling to get views and get attention, get noticed by new viewers and subscribers, because YouTube does have the algorithms work in the favor of partner channels like myself and bigger channels, while at the same time the smaller channels do struggle to grow. It still can happen for you if you're a content creator, even if you're just starting out or you're still only got like 100 subscribers or a few hundred subscribers, but it does suck the way the system is. Let's see, YouTube dogfight rant, because I thought that the dogfight mode could have been way better. I wasn't happy with it because I do like flying in fighter jets in the game and attack helicopters and a bit of dogfighting, even though I suck at dogfighting compared to Riley. But this mode was a major disappointment. The Coil Cyclone rant, because obviously I didn't really care for that particular car. The Grand Theft Auto Online Black Friday sale rant. I don't know exactly what I was ranting out there. I guess Black Friday sales. Maybe I didn't agree with the Black Friday sales. Like I said, I've done a lot of rants, and I don't remember everything specifically about each of these rants, but I've never really been a fan of Black Friday in general. But Laser Rant. Okay, Laser Rant is one I easily remember because of the fact that for the longest time, a lot of us wanted to be able to purchase and have our very own Pegasus laser. And now, of course, we have the hanger, thanks to Smuggler's Run. And whenever they finally made the laser purchasable, they added a ridiculous price tag to it, and there's really not much customization you can do to it other than changing the color. I just think that it's too expensive. It should have been considerably cheaper. Transform Race Creator rant. Obviously, I had issue with the Transform Race Creator, the facility rant, and a lot of that may have had to do with two things. One, was it really necessary for Rockstar to create a new facility for the Doomsday Heist? Couldn't have they just updated the heist room and high-end apartments instead of us having to buy a brand new property? The other thing is revolved around the Griefer's Delight, known as the Orbital Cannon, which even back then, when this update came out, I knew that that was going to be the weapon of choice for Griefers, and sadly it still is. The Orbital Cannon should have never been added as a purchasable toy or tool for Griefers, because those are the ones that mostly use it in Grand Theft Auto Online. The Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, I still feel like it's a ripoff, and that's basically what that rant's all about. So if you want to learn more about the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack and why I think it's a bad deal, feel free and check it out. The Benefactor Strider rant, because it's an SUV Rockstar. It's not a sports car, it's an SUV. That's basically the premise of that rant. The Annis Silvestra rant. Well, I guess because I didn't really care for the Annis Silvestra. I don't remember why, but I had my reasons. That's why I made a rant about it. The JB700 rant. Well, the JB700 is available for purchase in Grand Theft Auto Online, but my issue was, why don't we have a weaponized version that we can purchase, similar to the one we can get and use in a mission or two in Grand Theft Auto 5 Story? Because we have plenty of weaponized vehicles, it would just be cool if we also have the ability to have that weaponized JB700 in Grand Theft Auto Online as well. The version that we can buy is disabled. It doesn't allow you to have any weapons, even though it has clearly 2 guns on it. You can't use the damn guns. Let's see, YouTube, 400,000 hours watch video. This is when they were changing things and making it more difficult for channels to become partners. And a lot of channels that had achieved partnership are in that like that area where they were not big, but they were still YouTube partners. Like my friend Eric Retro over at Midwest Retro Gamers. He plays a lot of Dead by Daylight and some retro games as well. He still plays, I think, Friday the 13th every now and then. Like, he was at that point where he was officially a partner, but because of this new rule, he run the risks of losing his partnership. And it just made things even more difficult for smaller channels to maintain partnership. But some of them were able to eventually get to that minimum requirement, the 4,000 hours. I don't know what what it was, 6 months or a year or something. But I think it's bullshit, but it is what it is. Let's see, next, of course, is my hateful machine in Grand Theft Auto Online, the Revolter. God, this is such an awful vehicle. It is one of the worst vehicles in my opinion. For one thing, it's not an Ubermacht. It's clearly a Cadillac, what this car is based off of. And the fictional brand in Grand Theft Auto Online that's Cadillac is Albany. So it should be an Albany. It shouldn't be a sports car because it's clearly a sedan. I have my reasons for why I despise the Revolter, and I still do, even though some of my subscribers have Revolters because they think it's funny, and whenever we're playing together, they like to pull out their Revolters just to get me salty. Yeah, that's love for you. Next is the abandoned modes rant, because there's tons of modes in Grand Theft Auto Online that nobody plays anymore. And I guess my idea was to try and come up with ways to entice players to go back to playing those modes, like making them double money for a week, or maybe just making them double money in general. You know, make it to where you can earn more money doing the versus mode or survival modes, death matches, LTSs, captures, etc. So yeah, I did a rant about that because I felt like there was a lot of fun modes that have basically been buried by everything else that's been added to Grand Theft Auto Online. The Grand Theft Auto Online notifications rant, because for a while, notifications in Grand Theft Auto Online were out of control. I think the last update back in, December, the Arena Wars update back in December 2018, actually fixed that issue, because I don't get as many notifications as I used to, but there was a time leading up to Arena Wars update where we were getting tons and tons of notifications. Let's see, Hangar 13 layoffs. Hangar 13 is the developer behind Mafia 3. Obviously, I ranted about that because I am invested in the Mafia franchise. I played Mafia 3 along with the DLCs, and I made a ton of Mafia 3 videos. So, yeah, when that happened, I was kind of salty about it. But I think Hangar 13 is still alive and well. And unfortunately, layoffs will happen at various businesses, whether you're a developer or any other company. It's just a sad reality. But hopefully whatever game they're working on is going to be fun, successful. It might even be something, you know, I might be interested in playing and checking out, hopefully. Let's see, M-rated games rant. And this is about the rating system, because there's a lot of people out there that complain about violent video games are making people violent and dangerous, and the world would be a better place if we didn't have M-rated games, and we should raise the price on M-rated games. But at the same time, most people that play M-rated games aren't out there causing violence and hurting people. So that was the, I guess, the premise of my M-rated rant video. Yes, we have a rating system, and it's up to parents and legal guardians to be mindful of the rating system, similar to ratings when it comes to movies. What your kid should be playing and what your kid shouldn't be playing, or what movie your kid should be watching or not watching. Let's see, YouTube success rant. And I think my entire point of that rant video is that so many people get into YouTube content creating and streaming for one reason, and that's money. And that should never be the primary reason for you to do YouTube. It's considered to me to be a hobby, an art form, something that you're passionate about, whether you're just wanting to be a gamer, streamer, or some other sort of, you know, information you want to put out there via YouTube, whether it's political, historical, tips, home stuff, I don't know, but whatever it is, when it comes to being a content creator or a streamer on YouTube, it should be about the passion. See it as a hobby, something you just want to do for the sake of doing it, because to be honest, you're not going to make money being a content creator. Eventually, there are a few that rise up that might get lucky and be found out and may have enough subscribers and enough views and get to the point where they can make YouTube a viable career for themselves. But with all the apocalypses going on, with all this other nonsense here and there, it's even more difficult now to actually make a career out of being a YouTuber. So, like I said, it's just not really worth pursuing if money is the only reason why you want to be on YouTube. Money and fame. Just do it because you want to do it, because you have an interest in making videos and content and playing video games or whatever other type of channel you want to make. Just think about it that way. Let's see, Grand Theft Auto 6 rumor rant, because at the time there was a lot of false rumors regarding what Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be or what it was not going to be, and I felt like ranting about it because we have no official information regarding Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't even know if they're even in the process of developing it or even have even a remote idea of what it could or could not be, or script or whatever. So until Rockstar officially confirms Grand Theft Auto 6 and gives us a teaser trailer somewhere down the road, then all we can do is speculate and do some fanfics and theories and ideas of what we would like to see in Grand Theft Auto 6. But at the time, there was a lot of people that were claiming that Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be this or that, or was going to come out in a year from now or a few years from now, when that was obviously not true. The March 2018 DLC rants, I don't exactly remember what that was about. Obviously, I had issue with the March 2018 DLC for whatever rhyme or reason. Sea of Thieves rant. This is when Sea of Thieves first came out a year ago. It was very bare bones, and a lot of people lost interest in it because of that fact. Beautiful game, though. Absolutely beautiful. And they have added a lot of content, a lot of updates to Sea of Thieves over the past year, so props to Rare for doing so and making it a lot more enjoyable and playable. But at the time, Sea of Thieves was very, very bare bones. And I've been actually meaning to get back into Sea of Thieves eventually. I think I just got a big update the other night on Xbox Live. So it was like a 5 gig update. So maybe they added even more content to the game. So maybe whenever I get back from my trip, maybe I'll try it out. Or maybe I'll try it out prior. You never know. Maybe I'm trying it out right now. You never know. The Tesseract rant. This was one of the supercars that came out with the Southern San Andreas Supersports Series update. And the problem with the Tesseract was the same with a lot of the supercars. They were very expensive, and the advanced handling flags just screwed them over. It made them terrible, horrible to drive. Let's see, the Cara and Target Assault Races rant. This was my attempt to combine two rants into one video. The Cara, which would have been awesome if you could purchase a version of the Cara without a gun, a cheaper version, and the fact that Target Assault Races sucked. Let's see, the Premium Online Edition rant. I forgot about what exactly the Premium Online Edition was, but obviously I didn't really care for it, so I ranted about it. Let's see, Red Dead Redemption Info Drought rant. So we did go for a long period of time back in 2018, leading up to the official marketing campaign for Red Dead Redemption 2, where we heard nothing about the game. And it left a lot of us concerned about whether or not Red Dead Redemption 2 would be delayed yet again, but fortunately, that didn't happen. Fortunately, we were able to get information, new trailers, a lot of information poured out over the summer in 2018, leading to the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2 in October 2018. Sea Sparrow rant, because it could have been way better, in my honest opinion. Hanger discount rant, because they released the Sea Sparrow, I think, 1 week, right? And then the very next week, they did, for the following event week, they did hanger discounts. And my gripe was the timing of it all. What Rockstar should have done was, in conjunction with releasing the Sea Sparrow, which obviously I have issue with, they should have, during that event week, also had hanger discounts. Because there may have been some players in Grand Theft Auto Online that didn't have a hanger and decided to get a hanger because of the Sea Sparrow. I mean, that was just, it was just a timing issue. Now, my Red Dead Online preemptive rant. This was technically a preemptive rant, my microtransactions rant. And for fellow Red Dead Online fans, I'd highly recommend you going back and checking out this video, because a lot of the concerns I had regarding the direction that Grand Theft Auto Online went, I kind of see us going towards when it comes to Red Dead Online. And it's very weird going back and watching that rant video and seeing how bad things already are when it comes to the gold bars in Red Dead Online beta. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think Rockstar listened or even cared about any of our issues regarding microtransactions in Red Dead Online. The Tyrant rant, same issues that the Tesseract has: overpriced, underperforms, the advanced handling flags suck. A fraudulent copyright claim rant. It happened to the overflawed Tyrant rant. I was able to dispute it, but one thing that does happen on occasion is some of your videos get copyright claims. And a lot of times it revolves around the music that's in the game, in the video. And sometimes it's legitimate and it's actual licensed music, and yet there's really nothing you can do about it. But there are definitely plenty of times whenever you get a copyright claim that's complete BS, and the third party is obviously very questionable. They're obviously scamming. They're basically robbing you or attempting to rob you. In that case, you have to dispute it. You have to fight back. You can't just roll over. The Server Saga 2018 ramp. So there was a few weeks ago, we had actually a server outage for Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online. It lasted about 7 or 8 hours, but about a year prior to that, in 2018, there was a massive server outage for Grand Theft Auto Online on all platforms, current gen, last gen PC, and it lasted for a very, very long period of time. And Rockstar never gave us an explanation as to why that happened. The Michelle GT rant, because didn't really care for that car. The Paywall Rant, because there's different variations of Red Dead Redemption 2 that came out, the Standard Edition, Ultimate Edition, you get the idea. The E3 2018 Private Showing rant, because it sucks that there is, I guess, a bias where certain people, certain journalists in the gaming community or certain content creators have the right to go see something before everyone else gets to see it, while at the same time a lot of the viewers, a lot of the fans out there that are anticipating a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 are thirsty for information, and at the time I don't think we had any information, and yet a select few were given that information, while the rest of us just left chomping at the bit hoping for something. Gaming disorder rant, because there's this thing called gaming disorder, and there's some people that have issues, obviously, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we come up with so many disorders now, and I don't claim to be a psychiatrist, but a lot of the information we go over pretty much, I guess, shines a light to how BS that is. The upload speed rant, yeah, because I was having upload issues, and I just wanted to rant about it. The tryhards rant, because I don't really understand tryhards or griefers, and we just happened to run into a tryhard when I was recording some video, and we were all talking about it, and we found it kind of annoying and silly and ridiculous, and so I made a video about it. And even though I didn't mention that particular tryhard in this video, you could see their name in the video, because you saw them, and somehow word got back to that particular player that they were in this video. And so they started bitching and complaining, and I deleted their comments. I was just ignoring them. I mean, like I said, I don't throw shade at anyone specifically. I don't call anyone out specifically. This was about tryhards in general and griefers in Grand Theft Auto Online. And, this person just happened to be the case in point. And they were trying to justify, why they do what they do. And look, it's a video game. Play it whatever way you want. I have a right to, have negative comments about it and my thoughts, my views, opinions. But then what they decided to do, and this is something I haven't really told many people. I mean, I've told a few, but I'll tell you now, those of you that have endured this video, which apparently is going to go on at least 50 minutes, I think. Yeah, probably. But anyways, sorry, not sorry. That particular tryhard, instead of making a response video to me, which they well in their right to do with fair use, are using clips from my video countering what I have to say, they stole my video. They grabbed it and they posted it on their own channel without even editing it. The full 17-minute video was on their channel. That is violation to YouTube. You can't do that. And yes, I copyright strike their asses. And I'll do it again. It's one thing if you're asked permission to use B-roll from a video by somebody else. It's one thing to make a video about me if you disagree with me for whatever rhyme or reason. There's nothing I can do about it. It's fair use. And even taking clips from some things I say and using it as a reaction to what I say in your video, that's perfectly fine. But to take somebody's video, something they put together, and steal it and put it on your channel, that is a violation of fair use. Friday the 13th lawsuit rant, because there was issues revolving the rights to Friday the 13th, which also affected Friday the 13th, the video game, and basically it killed Friday the 13th, the video game. 4-week double smuggler sales rants, because Rockstar for 4 weeks had Smugglers Run sales double money for reasons. Drip Feed 2018 rant, which was kind of sort of a sequel to my Drip Feed rant from a year or two prior. Bounties rant. I forgot what I was ranting about when it came to bounties. I think I actually liked bounties, but I was ranting about the fact that bounties weren't a regular thing in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's see, multi-class racing rant, because unfortunately we don't have multi-class racing in Grand Theft Auto Online. It would be awesome if we did, but at the moment we don't. The Terabyte rant, I had my share of issues with it. I do like the client jobs, but you know, it also was where the broomstick came to play, aka the Oppressor Mark II. Cape Catfish rant, because Cape Catfish is neglected. It's the region of the map in southern San Andreas where people rarely go to. And to see better YouTubers rant. This was, I guess, kind of a shady rant where I was throwing a little bit of shade at some content creators. Once again, I don't like calling out anyone specifically because they don't care anyways. They love whatever attention they get. And that's basically what that was about, us trying to be better YouTubers. Well, at least better Grand Theft Auto Online YouTubers, or better Grand Theft Auto YouTubers, or better gaming YouTubers. PlayStation 4 Pro out of stock rant, because when I was trying to get a PlayStation 4 Pro, it was out of stock. Article 13 rant. Unfortunately, it looks like Article 13 is still going to happen in the EU, so that really does suck for everybody within the EU. The PlayStation Classic rant, because, well, as most of us know, the PlayStation Classic turned out to be a major disappointment, as well as Fallout 76 beta. The truth is, I really shouldn't have done the Fallout 76 beta, because I never played Fallout 76 beta. I was simply going by what everyone else had said regarding the game. And I think going forward, I try to do a better job when it comes to video game rants. If I haven't played the game, then I shouldn't have a right to rant about said game. Friday the 13th lawsuit ruling rant, because it didn't exactly go in Friday the 13th the game's favor. It kind of sucked how it all played out. For those of you interested in Friday the 13th, the game. Legend of Zelda single SP rant. Yeah, Nintendo did some questionable things with that version of Legend of Zelda. And as a Legend of Zelda fan, I took issue with it. I think it was a version that you could purchase through the Switch Online store, if I remember correctly. Halloween 2018 rant, the ongoing saga, a tradition. Every Halloween, if I don't get a Halloween update to Grand Theft Auto Online with tradition, I will make a rant about it. It is what it is. So it's basically some of the same things I mentioned in the 2017 rant. And yeah, I'll probably do a Halloween 2019 rant for Grand Theft Auto Online if I don't get a Halloween 2019 update. So there we go. Red Dead Redemption 2 post-epilogue rant. Some of the issues I had with the post-epilogue. I'm not going to throw any spoilers out there, but for those of you that played Red Dead Redemption 2 that are interested in my thoughts regarding epilogue and post-epilogue, feel free and check it out. And of course, we're getting up to where a lot of these rants are revolved around Red Dead Online. The Gold Bars rant, the Beta rant, the Unholy Hellbringer and Widowmaker rant in Grand Theft Auto Online. Actually, Rockstar fixed that issue regarding the Holy Hellbringer and Widowmaker. So good news, they actually listened to our feedback regarding the Holy Hellbringer and the Widowmaker, the fact that the ammo was disappearing. So they fixed it. I mean, at least they fixed it for most of us, because I haven't had issue with it. But so that's good. I see Red Dead Online Early Access content price hike rant, 50% off tonics rant, the Deviant rant. I like the look of the Deviant, but I had some performance issues with it. The Vamos also has some issues. The YouTube Apocalypse 2019 rant. There was one guy out there that basically initiated Apocalypse 2019. And as you can tell, the rest are Red Dead Online rants. So, there you go. About 50 minutes in. About the same time-wise. And, yeah. We went over, well, the latest 99 rants on the channel. 200 rants total so far, if you include this video. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. It was a little different. Similar to how I did the 100th rant, which will be the previous video, because technically this is a sequel to that video. And the rant series will continue as long as there's shit to rant about, whether it's in Red Dead Online, Grand Theft Auto Online, other video games that I actually play going forward, as well as issues revolved around video gaming and YouTube. those are pretty much the things that you will see topic-wise in the Rant series. But once again, I'm not going to make the Rant series a weekly thing. I think it works better whenever an issue comes up, and I'll just rant about it then. So sometimes you may get, a rant every few weeks. You may get a couple rants in 1 week, depending on what transpires. That makes me want to climb back upon Mount Soapbox and do a rant. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this 200th rant. And of all the rants that I've done in Rant 2.0, which ones are the most memorable to you? Which ones were your favorites? Which ones brought you to the channel? Because some people have actually found out about my channel and have become a part of the GeauxBurns Nation because of one of the rants. So if there's any of these rants that you enjoyed the most, that made you laugh, that informed you about something that you listened to and you're like, yes, I agree 100% with him, or if there was a rant you disagreed with, feel free and let me know which rant you liked or disliked or loved or hated below in the comments section.